Hello and welcome to the debut episode of In Full Stride. I'm Carson Gambaro, here with one of the guys that inspired me to start this show at long last. Kyler Alston, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, bro. How about you?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here on your college campus, Hudson Valley. And you're one of the guys, like I said, that made me want to start the show because there are just so many athletes in the area where I grew up and beyond that I hope to have on here that have such great potential. Would you like to tell the people a little bit about yourself before we start?
Yeah, before I do that, I just want to say I appreciate you, man. I appreciate what you're doing, trying to give the local athletes recognition and everything. It's really amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. My name is Kyler Alston. I'm a track and field athlete. I ran for Shaker High School in Upstate New York. Currently running for Hudson Valley Vikings. I run the 400 hurdles, 4x4, and 4x1.
Yes, sir. And you also used to play football, did you not?
Yes, sir. I played for Shaker for 2 years in high school. Yeah.
What position?
I played football for like my whole life, except I only played 2 years in high school. But I played wide receiver and corner.
Nice. Yeah. That's kind of what you got to play for a speed guy, unless you're a mobile QB, though.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of mobile QBs, we got Kyler Murray playing my Washington Commanders right now. He's down 10. I hope it stays that way. Loving the way Jaden Daniels have been playing.
Yeah.
You got a favorite football team?
Yeah. No, I like the Ravens and the Seahawks right now. So Lamar Jackson definitely got that mobility.
Yeah. You like the bread. So Kyler, for those of you that don't know, also competes for the local track club Sky's the Limit, based out of the Albany, New York area. And there's wings on the uniform, so it's only natural that you'd like the bird teams,
yeah,
right?
Of course.
What's your least favorite bird team in the NFL?
Eagles.
I knew that one was coming. They lost today, so that's good. Anyways, one thing I want to really dive into right away is just the insane summer that you had down south and southeast in the Junior Olympics, both USATF and AAU. You were the only 17 to 18-year-old 400 hurdler to make both finals. So just in the grand scheme, what was that entire weekend like for you?
The weekend transitioning or the weekend before?
Just the whole week. Just the whole week.
Okay. Well, there was a lot of stress that whole week because I told you before that I had injured myself. I pulled my hamstring.
Yeah.
So it was really a mental game trying to really get through that. I didn't train, I think, for about 5 days before my prelim race at Texas.
Oh, so this hamstring was like right before it started?
The week before.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, no, I was really trying to just take it easy and get through it. And I didn't think I was going to be able to run at all at Texas, but I went down there and I ended up competing and ended up hitting a PR. So I'm glad I went.
And that was only the first step, too. Let's consider what Kyler's schedule was for the 400 hurdles. Wednesday, June 26th, USATF 400 hurdles prelim. Friday the 28th, finals. Got fourth there, All-American. But that was only the first of two finals. 2 days later, you were on the East Coast in Greensboro at A&M, right there, A&T, Carolina A&T.
Yes, sir.
For the AAU Junior Olympics.
Yeah.
Sunday, rainy prelim. Tuesday, final.
Yeah.
Crazy schedule. Why did you choose to do that?
Well, I chose to run at Texas because there's a lot more recognition out there and the competition is a lot different down in Texas. So I wanted to do it just to test myself and just to put myself out there. And I wanted to run at AAU to compete with my teammates. So, yeah. Yeah.
I think you, speaking to the recognition factor, though, definitely emanates when you consider who exactly you were up against.
Yeah.
For those of you that recall, we recently had a World Junior Championships take place in Lima, Peru. And who won those World Junior Championships? But the Florida Gator commit himself, Vance Nilsson.
Yeah.
And who won the USATF race? Vance Nilsson.
Vance Nilsson.
So you've raced guys that have won world championships, competed at Olympic trials. Just that's such quality talent that you have been in the conversation with.
Yeah. No. When I raced against him at Texas, it was a very, I want to say, like, realization. It was a realization moment for me because seeing someone like that just run a 49, and I've never seen anybody run a 52 or faster, because the best I competed against was Neil Howard, and
Neil Howard the third,
and he went 52 at States. So going from that, and I ran a 53, so going to Texas and seeing this dude who runs a 49, it's different. Was
that scary for you once you got on the line? Like, were you approaching that race once you knew what you were up against?
Well, once I heard that he was running a 49, when I was talking to some of the kids under the warm-up tent, and they said that there was a kid who runs a 49, and his name was Vance, and I was like, oh, okay, well, he's going to get first, so I might as well just compete for second then. But I wasn't really intimidated by it. I was more just like accepting it, like I was just competing for second. But yeah, I got to talk to him and everything, and he's actually a really nice guy. He gave me some friendly advice, and just to work on my training and everything, and like recovery in the process of that. And yeah, so once I got to talk to him, I wasn't really intimidated at all.
Yeah, you mentioned like things to work on. Of course, coming into this year, you had already dropped some 53s, and you lowered your PR eventually to 52.59
yes,
at
sir.
AAU, which was the second of your two finals. It was 52.8 at USATF. But what were some of the big things in the 400 hurdles that you found yourself improving upon this year?
Well, the biggest improvement that I made in 400 hurdles was definitely my start, because before in high school, I would definitely play catch up a lot. I would start out slow, and then on that last 200 hurdles, I would try and pick it up and catch everybody. And that's what worked for me in high school, so I was like, might as well just stick with it and see how it goes in college and over the summer, and that just was not the case. So I definitely had to improve my start, which is what I did. And yeah, that's the biggest difference I made.
Yeah, I definitely noticed that, having watched you through your young career. I mean, you've only been doing this for, what, 4 years, you said, right?
Yeah, this is currently my 4th year.
Yeah. I think we went over that beforehand, so yeah, just revisiting that. But again, in the earlier stages when you were still newish to the event, you were you were still going out very hard, harder than I would ever be willing to go out in 400-meter hurdles, but just what kind of inspired that next gear in you just to go full throttle for that first 200?
Well, when I got to college, I definitely started training the first 200 of my 400 hurdles a lot more. That was what me and Coach York had wanted to work on, because he noticed that was a weak part of my race. So that was the main thing that we worked on, was just 200 hurdles and getting out in my block start and making sure that I could get out, and then 300 hurdles where I would hold that. So yeah.
Do you wish that the 300 hurdles were more commonly run nationwide?
I wish the 400 hurdles were more commonly run nationwide, because everybody down south usually runs 300 hurdles.
Texas, of course.
Yeah, but then there's no 300 hurdles at like the professional level, so I don't see why they don't just have 400 hurdles.
It's interesting, right? I mean, you got me thinking back to my guy RG3, one of my favorite football players. Could have gone to the Olympics for the 400 hurdles based on how good he was in the 300 hurdles. But yeah, transitioning back to what you said before, though, about working on that first half. If you watch the 17, 18-year-old boys 400-meter hurdles final at A&T, this dude was way out in front. Well, not way out in front, but he was leading on the stagger. He fixed that issue, and it got you all the way to second in AAU and your lifetime best, 52.59. So just knowing that you're maybe, I was going to say knowing that you've climbed that mountain, but you're really still climbing that mountain. Yeah. Knowing that you're diving headfirst into the belly of that beast, however many metaphors I want to make for it. What does that say to you about your mental toughness?
It says a lot, because you really have to be mentally tough, not even for 400 hurdles, just for track in general. A lot.
Thought you were about to say the 400 in general, which I would totally concur, but go ahead.
Yeah, no, I would say for track in general, to be honest with you. You don't really have to be mental tough to throw and stuff, but especially for 400 hurdles and 400, it's hard, because you really gotta want it or you don't. Because especially when you're coming around that last 200, 150, it's who wants it the most. And at Junior Olympics, I guess I just didn't want it the most.
That's arguable, but at the same time, it's so hard to combine your desire to get to the finish line with keeping your form, because you can almost want it a little too much and find yourself face first on the track. Has that ever happened to you in a hurdles race?
Thankfully, no.
Thankfully, these stools are wooden, so I had something to knock on there. I know you used to do the high hurdles in the day, so did that kind of help with, settling that intimidation factor, getting comfortable going over hurdles?
Yeah, no, because I definitely started out with 110 hurdles. I never imagine I would ever run 400 hurdles. When I first started, I was running 100 hurdles, and that helped me build the base that I needed to for my form, going over 400 hurdles. And then all I had to do was just work on the speed endurance, and yeah, the rest is history.
So it goes.
Yeah.
52:59. That's where we left off after getting that second place. Yep. But that wasn't even your last race. I mentioned the 4 races within a 6-day span. It was actually 5 overall races in an 8-day span, because you also ran the 4x4 with Sky's the Limit STL, squadding up for that one last race.
Yeah.
Were you just like completely dead at that point? Where were you at?
Well, no, I definitely wasn't dead, because I had talked about it with my teammates beforehand, and we were all like talking about what we want to run and how we're going to make finals. So we all agreed like this is the time we need to run was 3:16, and this is what we need to run to get to finals. So I just did my part, my teammates did their part, we were all really locked in, and we were just ready to run this race. And we went out there and we ended up running a 3:16. Well, we still missed finals by like 0.4 seconds, but we all ran what we needed to run, so couldn't really be too disappointed in that.
And even after all that you had been through, the 400 hurdles races, the sore hamstring, 47:32, not a bad time.
Yeah. No.
It wasn't the race that earned you your nickname. Would you like to tell the people your great nickname that they need to know?
Well, one of my friends gave me a nickname, Agent 47, and that's because I split 47 for the first time last year at AAU Junior Olympics.
And this year you did it again, getting closer and closer to that 46. I mean, was it disappointing that you didn't get 46, or was it more so just like, man, I just did that after all that?
Oh, no, it wasn't disappointing at all, because if I had ran a 48 or slower, I would have been disappointed. But my goal was 46, but if I ran 47, I would have been happy with that. And I ended up going 47.3, so I was extremely happy to know that I still had the speed.
Considering that, well, I don't want to call it a gap, because of course we consider that between the raw 400 and the 400 hurdles. I mean, most men roughly at their best for 400 hurdles are around 3 seconds of a gap from open 400. But knowing that with all of the fatigue that your muscles had probably been feeling leading up to that split race, what do you feel like you could run in an open 400 if you train for it?
If I really trained for it right now, I could probably run a 48. Probably run like a low 48.
I mean, that takes a great deal of confidence to say, especially in this point of the season when we're in late September and you haven't had a whole lot of races. So I definitely think you could follow through on that. Would you be willing to try and do that, or just keep sticking with what you got in the 400 hurdles?
Well, for indoor, I'll definitely run a 400. I can tell you that right now. I'll definitely do the 400 indoor. But when it comes,
you don't want to petition for them to put some hurdles on the banks or anything?
Yeah, nah, that wouldn't work out too well.
No.
But no, when it comes to outdoor, I'm definitely gonna try and expand more. Like, I'm gonna run the 200 a little bit.
All right.
Probably not the open 4, but definitely stick with 400 hurdles, 200, 4x1, and 4x4. So yeah,
increasing the workload a little bit.
Yeah.
But back to your main event, the 400 hurdles. I talk about it so much in just random commentary videos that I make on this channel. It is an event that has taken off in the last few years, and I feel like one of the reasons why has been just athletes have been exploring uncharted territory almost. Like, consider Sydney McLaughlin, right? Before she became who she is today, the world record was 2 seconds slower than what it is.
Yeah.
Before Karsten Warholm, Rai Benjamin, and Alison dos Santos got to where they've taken the event, sub 46 was something you had only seen once ever.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you're almost following in the footsteps of the pros now that the event has taken a bit of an uptick recently?
Well, a little bit, yeah. I'm definitely, like, I look up to Rai Benjamin a little bit. I definitely like to watch him race. So I'm hoping that I can definitely get my ability up to that level and compete with the greats.
Rai Benjamin raises an interesting concept, right? Because he's often been referred to by the media and other people in the past as the silver bullet, right? Because he's performed at such an elite level, but he's always, until this year, found himself number 2. Yeah. So you've been in that position as well, right? You dropped some great times, but second at Junior Olympics. But flashing back to your JUCO freshman season, second at D3 JUCO Nationals. And I know you and I, having talked about that race, of course. Yeah. Is that something that just sits in the back of your mind, just extra motivation behind you?
Oh, yeah, constantly. And The first time I got second at JUCO Nationals, that was what started it. That's what lit the flame. That's what made me realize, like, if I really want to take this track thing somewhere, then I have to put the work in, and I have to get better. Like, there's no option. There's no other option. And then when it got to the summer, I felt like I was ready, and I was going to take home the gold. And when I got to Junior Olympics at AAU, I ended up finishing in second. So that is a huge motivator for me.
I think the Junior Olympics, though, obviously with the time being different and whatnot, and just seeing your reaction in wake of it on social media. Definitely follow Kyler, by the way. Kyler Alston 17 on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
But, just seeing your reaction to that, it seemed a lot more optimistic knowing that you had followed through on that motivation and really made something special of your season.
Yeah. No. Especially, like, as soon as JUCO was over and I was getting ready for the summer, I had told my coach, like, I wrote out my goals and I texted it to her, and I was like, this is what I want to accomplish. How can I do this? And we just got right to work. So, yeah.
So moving ahead to this next season, you're not going to be racing again for another few months, so just more strength and conditioning, right?
Yeah, no. Right now I'm just really strength training and focusing on my weak points. So, yeah.
And let's not forget you're a student athlete too, so how have the classes and everything been going for you?
Hudson Valley's been great. It's nothing too difficult. I have some of my classes online and some of my classes in person, so it really helps with my schedule. I can just kind of train when I want to, it's really makes my schedule a lot easier.
And does that almost allow you to just get to be at one with yourself and almost learn more about yourself on your own time?
Yeah, no, definitely. I can definitely tell you that I've matured a lot more throughout this time. So, yeah.
What is one of those big things you'd say you've learned about yourself?
One big thing I've learned about myself is
maybe it's yet to come to you. Maybe you're still learning.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely still learning.
That's an ironic thing too, right? Because there was a project that I did senior year of high school. It was like the last assignment for English class. It was called What I Learned. And the last flashpoint I made was that there's still so much more learning to be done.
Yeah.
And again, that's emblematic of the 400 hurdles, right? And so with that in mind, just, taking some of those things that you mentioned with Vance Nielsen and just continuing to work on that first half and fusing it together with that finish that you've always been able to produce, what time do you think you're going to be able to achieve next year if it all comes together for you?
Well, I'm definitely breaking 52. I can go 51 for the outdoor season, and if I'm lucky enough and I work hard enough, then I can definitely go 50.
Of course, let's not forget you've still got another nationals ahead of you for D3 JUCO, so I gotta imagine there's only one place in mind that you want to finish.
Yeah, no, that's been the goal this whole off season. I took my 2 weeks off, and as soon as it was time to get back to training, I told my coach, like, I'm gonna get a national title, and there's just nobody's gonna be able to do anything about it. That's what my goal is, and that's what I'm gonna accomplish.
So basically, you're saying you just want to run away with it and just showcase who Kyler Alston is in front of all the watching eyes of the audience?
Yeah, no, this year's nationals I'm gonna make a statement for sure.
Yeah, and that's one of the many reasons I wanted to bring you on here, because again, I've just been getting the opportunity to see you do all these things behind the scenes, behind the public eye, just kind of bringing it to the forefront and projecting to see what's ahead for you. So beyond JUCO, because of course you've only got 1 year left, are you looking at potential Division I scholarships? What are you thinking is next for you?
Well, right now I'm looking at schools really in Texas, Florida, and North Carolina, to be honest with you. I haven't reached out to any coaches right now, but right now I'm just filling out college questionnaires and putting together an email, and then I'm going to reach out pretty soon. So, yeah.
I mean, it's a whole process. I mean, just getting to become a college athlete in the first place, getting to manage insane schedules. I mean, it's nothing new to you. It's just a different level and a bigger magnitude.
Yeah.
But, how do you feel that just getting to really grow close to the sport has helped you take on new challenges?
Well, it definitely made me more mentally tough, to be honest with you. Like, running track is mentally hard, so I just kind of take that throughout my life daily.
Was that something you realized once you started right away, or how did it come to you that track was tough?
The first time I started training for the 400, that's when it came to me. I'll tell you right now, because that was not fun at all.
What was your starting point with the sport? I'm curious.
Junior year is when I started running track. I was actually going to try out for the basketball team at Shaker, but one of my friends had told me, so I was walking in the hallway one day, and one of my friends was talking to my coach, and he was talking to the coach, and he said, "Oh yeah, this kid, I'm faster than this kid." I was like, "You're faster than me? You're faster than me?" So I had to join the track team. I literally just went there just to show that I was faster than him, and I was. So I don't know why he was even talking, but yeah, then I ended up running away with sport, and I've just been doing it ever since.
Yeah, you definitely got to be thanking him for that now that he said that, because fire's been beneath you ever since, right?
Yeah, no, because when I started out junior year, I was just really running just to run. I didn't think anything of it. Honestly, my main goal was to just play football. I just wanted to go to college for football and everything. And then senior year, when I was at New Balance Indoor Nationals, before New Balance Indoor Nationals, I was running 4x4, and I was splitting 54, 55, 53 was my best. And then when I went to New Balance Indoor Nationals, out of nowhere, I just split 49. And that just gave me a whole new realization that, like, maybe I should just stick to running track.
So you're telling me that a 54 guy like me can go to New Balance Nationals and pull out a sub 50?
Yeah.
No, but that's again, just flashing even further back from this year with the considerable improvements that you've made, just getting to make all those improvements in big chunks.
Yeah.
It definitely indicates that there's a lot left on the table to get you to where you want to be with those 50s, right?
Yeah, no. In the beginning, I was definitely making a lot bigger improvements, like week to week, because I had the speed from football.
Raw talent, yeah,
from football and everything. So I already had that like base. It's just like track speed is different, and like track endurance is different. So once I started to get better and better at that, I was making up big chunks of time, and then now it's starting to get smaller and smaller. But as you get better, it's going to be little by little by little. So I'm just working on building on those improvements.
Yeah, I think another thing football helped with too was, at least for me, because I actually played one season of football myself.
Okay.
I was a bench warmer, but it got me willing to embrace the weight room.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still kind of living the lean and mean lifestyle, but it made me less shying away from the weight room,
Yeah.
because it's very important to getting stronger and faster.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm focusing on right now, is just focusing on getting stronger. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So I think we've covered a good amount of ground today. I should ask you as well, do you have any major idols within the sport?
Well, as a kid, I definitely looked up to Usain Bolt, because he was different. There was really nobody that was touching him in his races. And I really don't think anybody's going to take his 100 or 200 record. No. I think whoever has the best chance, it would be, let's say, Late Tobogo.
Yeah, you think
but so? I don't think, even then, I still don't think anybody's going to break it.
For the 200, I'm assuming you're saying, right?
Yeah, for the 200, yeah.
100, I don't know about that.
Nah.
Now, before Paris, would you have said the same thing, or would you have said Noah Lyles?
Nah, before Paris, I like just watching how Tobogo runs, I would have said that he could definitely drop his time, because I think before that he had run or split a 44 or maybe even a 43.
I think he did split a 43 at the World Relays.
Yeah.
43.5, 43.8. So, either way, something insane for a 100, 200/300 sprinter.
Exactly. So even when I saw that, I knew like he has a lot of untapped potential in the 200. So yeah.
Now, what do you think Let's see Late Tobogo would run if he tried the 400 hurdles?
I mean, if he had the form down, he could probably go 47, 46.
Yeah.
Probably 46.
And again, 47 is a time that before Karsten Vorholm, Rai Benjamin, and Alston dos Santos came along was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it still is
It was the
good.
best.
We still see it win Diamond League meets here and there. So,
yeah.
I mean, that's a good chunk of cash if he could go after that. Maybe a 400 hurdles, 200 double.
Yeah.
Why not, right?
And now they got Grand Slam track, so
yeah,
you never know what could happen.
Would that be something that you'd potentially be interested in competing in down the line?
Of course, yeah. Grand Slam track, Diamond League, anything. I'll do it all. Yeah.
Where would you say would be your end goal as a competitor?
Well, by the time I'm done with the sport, I would hope that I would have accomplished at least making it to an Olympics. probably, well, my main goal right now is to make it to the 2028 Olympics. But I would just like to go to an Olympics in general. I want a medal on the men's or the mixed U.S. 4x4. So if I can get a medal, that would be great. And I just want to compete in the men's 400 hurdles.
Well, one guy that your Sky's the Limit teammate Kalai Makanani likes to mention a lot is Quincy Wilson, and he was able to get an Olympic gold medal with Team USA for the men's 4x4, albeit in the prelims, but still, definitely an opportunity for you. I mean, does it intimidate you knowing that Team USA is always deep? Oh man, why me? Or is it more like a why not me that motivates you there?
I would say like it's not really too intimidating. There's definitely, obviously, everybody running like 45, 44 for the 4x4 and split and all that. But if I can just put my mind to it and I work hard enough, then I can accomplish anything.
Absolutely. I think that's a pretty good place to call it for our first episode of In Full Stride, everybody. We made it here. And, of course, we've still got a football game going on, so I got to ask you, Kyler, who is winning, Commanders or Cardinals?
Probably going to be the Cardinals, I'll say.
You know, I did take Arizona, but my boys were leading 17-7 at the half, so I got to stick with the Washington football team.
We'll see. We
shall see. I mean, you guys are going to know by the time this episode is up anyway, so hopefully one of us is right and there isn't a tie. All right. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And stay tuned for future episodes of In Full Stride. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to my channel. And follow the podcast. We've got an Instagram, In Full Stride Podcast. No period, spaces, or underscores for all future content to come. I had a lot of fun, man. Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Any last thoughts?
No, I'm all good, man.
All right, Kyler Alston, everybody.